are on the road to Blood and Guts, and not only did we see some killer promos last night building up the event, but we also found out that it may not be just a one-match show. Because also last night we found out that a killer tag team that has taken the tag team division by storm is going to be wrestling the new triple champ or quadruple champ and Michael Nakazawa. Also, to kick off Dynamite, we saw a shocking win when Brian Cage pinned Adam Page. Wow, that rhymed and sounded really weird. And the Young Bucks continue their heel tactics as they continue to be one of the top heels in all Elite Wrestling. All that and more as we review last night's episode of Dynamite. Welcome to a brand new episode of Kimmytalkswrestling, and we are starting right now. We have big news coming from KTW. That is right, I have joined Pop Culture Wrestling as both a podcaster, as you see right now, and as a writer. Thank you to all of my fans and everyone who's gotten me this far. So whether you found this video on YouTube or you found it on Pop Culture Wrestling, y'all a real one. But for those of you who have no idea who I am, let's just give a little intro. My name is Kimmy. I'm 19 years old. I am currently a sophomore in college with the dream of becoming a WWE commentator, and I just love talking wrestling, ranting, and, you know, just having fun. And here's my show and our review of AEW Dynamite. So we start off with Brian Cage versus Adam Page, and Adam Page has looked so dominant. He's been the #1 on the rankings the past couple weeks. Everyone has been saying that he's going to be the one to dethrone the clean sweeper himself. But he lost. Clean. This was really shocking here, meaning that I don't know what they're potentially doing with Cage. I know they're kind of hinting at the fact that he is going to break from Team Taz because him and Ricky are fighting. But I'm just kind of shocked and don't know what this is, this loss is really doing for Adam. I mean, it's not, I believe he just falls from 1 to 2, so it's not technically bad, but still, you know, I kind of like that he was undefeated for a long period of time that you could have built into the storyline with Kenny, depending on when you're going to do the match. I'm assuming it's going to be at All Out in September, hoping that we have a bigger group of fans there. But yeah, this was just really shocking me. But the match was really good. It was an awesome way to kick off Dynamite. These two have really good chemistry as well. I believe they've had a couple matches prior to AEW. So this was just really good. I was just really shocked by the ending and the fact that it ended clean and it wasn't like a distraction from Taz or Ricky Starks or anybody. But this was pretty good. Good job, guys. And let's get all fancy here for the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. So obviously, one last meeting before we head into Blood and Guts. We found out that Sammy Guevara is going to be the first one to enter Blood and Guts, or War Games, because it's basically the same thing. But this was just awesome storytelling. All 10 men actually got to talk on the mic. It wasn't just dominantly Jericho or dominantly MJF like we saw in previous weeks. Also, Sammy Guevara, I forgot at one point he did it. I think it was right after the segment where, you know, during the pandemic where he had the cue card and it would be like, oh, like this celebrity call me or do this. Like, he had the cue cards during the picture-in-picture and he was like, you know, at Blood and Guts, like, I'm going to be the first one to cage. I'm going to be the first one to initiate war, which was really cool as well. And just the chemistry that Jericho and MJF have is so, so good. I loved when Jericho was really like, you know, like, I'm so proud that, like, you know, last week you said that I was, like, curtain jerking in WCW at 25, but that's what made me who I am because I got respect in Germany and Japan and Mexico and all these different countries to make Chris Jericho who he is today. And I really don't know who I want to win, which is really bad because I'm doing a predictions podcast in, like, 8 hours. But this was just really good. I'm really excited for this match. I just hope it gives it the time it deserves. I mean, I believe there's only 3 matches announced, which is the Blood and Guts match, and then a Fatal 4-Way, and then as we're going to get into Michael and Kenny versus John and Eddie. But I just really hope that, like, this takes up, like, the whole second hour. Because if it gets less than an hour, I feel like it's not going to get the time it deserves. So And let's talk about that tag team match, shall we? So, of course, Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley, if they're not your spirit animals, if they are not just, like, who you and your best friend inspired to be, then I really don't know what is wrong with you. I really don't. So Michael Nakazawa is just, like, standing out there because he's, like, the tech guy, I guess. And Eddie comes out, and Eddie starts up beating Nakazawa, and then Kenny comes out, and, like, Kenny's, like, trying to, like, you know, defend his friend and, like, you know, say things to Eddie. And then Moxley comes out, and then Moxley and John beat down Kenny. And Don Callis is like, oh, well, no, my poor Kenny, why are you doing this? What can we do to make this stop? And he goes, I want a tag team match next week, or soon, he said soon, with Michael Nakazawa and Kenny versus us. And Don said, fine, so that's going to happen next week. I'm excited that they're actually using Nakazawa, and, you know, he's actually involved in not the inner circle, wow, the elite, and it's not just, you know, the baby oil stuff. He's actually pretty much a very important, like, I wouldn't say important, but, like, he's being used more, which I like, because, you know, for the longest time, Nakazawa's really only been on Dark, pre-show pay-per-views, and BD. It's really good. This tag match is going to be really good too. Moxley and Kenny have really good chemistry, as we've seen, and so do Kenny and Eddie. And Nakazawa is just a really, like, good all-around wrestler as well. So this should be very, 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 very good tag team match. That, actually, no, the Fatal 4-Way should start the show. This should be, like, after that, and then Blood and Guts. And we'll talk about the DMD for a second before we get into the Young Bucks, because DMD, Britt Baker, your favorite role model, is just killing it in the rankings. Of course, she's number 1, and she's all excited about it. And, you know, she's bragging to Tony, like, waiting for this match, which she that is going to probably have a Double or Nothing. And that means that the era of Britt is happening, guys. It's going to happen. She doesn't win the title. I'm going to be very mad. So, get ready. Your role model's going to win. Reba, loving the bangs. We're really evolving in life here, guys. We're really doing good. And of course, the Young Bucks versus Seidel brothers. The Young Bucks are continuing their heel tactics. Did not appreciate the fact that you're knocking off Rollins' fox leather jacket, by the way. Like, come on, guys. But they continue the heel tactics here in a very good match where, as the ref was distracted, Matt hit Matt. Wow. Matt hit Matt with a Johnny Cage low blow to get the win. Heel Young Bucks are probably the best version of the Young Bucks. They're so great. They're so funny. They make you want to hate them, just like every heel should be. This was a very good tag team match between all 4 individuals and all 2 teams. But yeah, I'm just waiting to see who's going to step up for the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing. Kind of intrigued. Kind of don't know who it's going to be. Kind of hoping it's Kingston and Moxley, but I want them to win the tag titles, and I know it's not going to happen. So, just going to be #disappointed. And that main event, we had Darby Allin versus 10. And remember, he talked about how, you know, the last time he faced the Dark Order, remember, which was John Silver, he hurt his shoulder, and then before that, it was Brody Lee, who was the greatest TNT champion, and this match was so good. 10 is so talented. This was a really good back and forth. I love that, strangely enough, as Cameron decided not to work, so Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, this new tag team, goes to beat down, like, Sting and Allin, because they're targeting TNT title. But I'm like, if they're a team, like, why are they targeting one single title, but whatever. And then they beat up Sting. And then Lance Archer, see, I'm so confused. Because Lance Archer's supposed to be feuding with Sting, right? Like, that's what he's been saying. And now he's, like, trying to get on the good side of Sting. So, like, what is happening? What? I'm so confused. I'm so lost. I mean, I don't mind. And then, like, what happened to Luchasaurus and Sting from last week? What? I mean, I know that Sting's really not going to wrestle a lot of matches because he's 61 years old, but at least, like, tell me what happens after these things. Like, Jesus, AEW. But AEW was a really good episode. I mean, I just have those questions about Sting, and we're really leading up to Double or Nothing and Blood and Guts. I'm really excited for next week, and I'm just, you know, just excited overall. So, make sure to like this video, comment what you guys thought about Dynamite, the good, the bad, the ugly, and all that. Make sure to click that bell for notifications and subscribe. And make sure to check out Pop Culture Wrestling under my name, which hopefully you guys saw this video that way, or maybe YouTube, I don't know. And find out all the cool stuff that I'm doing, because my career is taking off and I couldn't be more grateful for it. But that's all for me, and I'll see you guys Friday for Saturday for SmackDown, because I can't get Impact here, unless I very much try to search for it. But also, check out the BCP. We're doing Blood and Guts predictions. Kyle and I are on the same panel. Kind of scary. Bye, guys.